Hello, and welcome to another episode of Crisis Counseling. I don't have any pets. Our family does not have any pets, but we do have an abundance of stuffed animals. I'm joined by just a few of them here today. This is just a small sample of the bins and bins of stuffed animals that we have accumulated over the years. My kids and I occasionally will bust out our stuffed animals and all of their biodiversity. We have many different species represented. And we like to play Noah's Ark because we're a pastor's family and because we're a weird family. We will sometimes set up a big kind of we take kitchen chairs and a blanket and make like a makeshift Noah's Ark and take all the animals and go under the ark and then we'll play Jars of Clay song, 40 Days and 40 Nights. Their song is called Flood, and it's about Noah's flood. And then at the end of 40 days, we come out of the ark, and all the animals come out. And then, again, because we're a bit of a weird family, we get a sheep and we sacrifice the sheep, or at least pretend to, because that is what Noah did. We may be weird, but we do stop before the part where Noah gets drunk and passes out naked. So if you were concerned about that, we don't actually have that as part of the game we play. But the point is, we like the story of Noah's Ark, and we love the story of Noah's flood, and we love to act it out and think of what it must have been like to be with all those animals. The thing is, though, as much as we talk about Noah's Ark as a fun kid story, it's really not a fun kid story. I mean, yeah, the animals are awesome and everything, but it's really a terrifying story of God's anger and judgment on the world, but also a story of God's mercy and grace as He shelters Noah and his believing family, and yes, the different creatures of the earth on this boat. And how long are Noah and his family and these animals stuck together on this boat? Well, everybody knows the answer to that, right? 40 days and 40 nights. That's the time that of the flood. Except that's not the whole story. 40 days and 40 nights of rain. It rained for 40 days and 40 nights, and then the rain stopped after 40 days and 40 nights. Do you think Noah came off the ark after those 40 days and 40 nights were over? Like the rain stopped, we can come out? I don't think so. What happened? Only Noah was left, and those who were with him in the ark, and the waters prevailed on the earth 150 days. I'm reading at the end of Genesis chapter 7. 150 days. Like, how long is that? Like 5 months? So yeah, you got a month of rain, month plus of rain. But then you got 5 months of sitting there on this boat, waiting to come off the boat. And beginning of chapter 8, but God remembered Noah and all the beasts and all the livestock who were with him in the ark. Hey, what a way to put it, right? God remembered them. After 5 months, it's like, oh yeah, I still got some people down there. And God made a wind blow over the earth, and the waters subsided. The fountains of the deep and the windows of the heavens were closed, and the rain from the heavens was restrained, and the waters receded from the earth continually. At the end of 150 days, the waters had abated. And in the 7th month, and the 17th day of the month, the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. So they just float along, month after month. And then finally, they're on the Mount of Ararat. And then they sit there on the Mount of Ararat. And the waters continued to abate until the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the first day of the month, the tops of the mountains were seen. So finally, we see the tops of the mountains. Can we get off this boat now? Well, no, all you can see are the tops of mountains. At the end of 40 days, Noah opened the window. He sent a raven. The raven flew around. Then he sent a dove. The dove found no place to set her foot. She returned to the ark, for the waters were still on the whole earth. So he took out his hand and brought her back into the ark with him. So Noah sends out this bird to do a little scouting. The bird comes back. He waited another 7 days, and again he sent forth the dove out of the ark. And the dove came back to him in the evening, and behold, in the mouth was a fleshly plucked olive leaf. So it's getting a little better out there. So Noah knew that the waters had subsided from the earth. Then he waited another 7 days and sent forth the dove, and she did not return to him any more. In the 601st year, in the first month, the first day of the month, the waters were dried from off the earth. And Noah removed the covering of the ark and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry. In the second month, on the 27th day of the month, the earth had dried out. Then God said to Noah, "Go out from the ark, you and your wife, your sons and your sons' wives with you. Bring with you every living thing that is with you, and all the flesh, birds and animals, and every creeping thing, that they may swarm on the earth and be fruitful and multiply on this earth." You know what? If you do the math, Noah and his family were on the ark for 371 days. More than a year they were on the ark. You think they ever got impatient to get off the ark? To kind of get back into the swing of things? Of course, they knew that the world that was waiting for them on the other side was much different than the one that they had left behind when they went on the boat. But they had to wait. They had to patiently wait on that boat day after day. You think those 8 people got to know each other pretty well? You think they might have got on each other's nerves once in a while? You think the animals might have been a little bit of a pain or a bother after a while? And yet they endured day after day. What do you think they did on that ark? You know, the Bible doesn't tell us. We're left to our imagination there. Noah was a righteous man. What do righteous men do? You know, they stay in touch with God. I'm sure Noah talked to his family. Do you think they had a family altar on that boat? Perhaps. But I'm sure they talked together about God. I'm sure they prayed together. I'm sure Noah reminded them of the promises that God had made. And Noah inherited the promises to Adam and Eve. That's a story for a different day, how Noah's father was very aware of the promises that God had made to Adam and Eve. So Noah and his family kept the faith, all while doing, well, they had work to do in the ark. Sure, they could take care of animals. They had basic kind of human chores to do. Is this story relevant for us right now, do you think? No, I'm not suggesting that our situation is exactly like Noah's. In fact, even though, we've got a safer at home edict right now, we do have the ability to venture out on dry land, and we can step foot on dry ground, and Noah couldn't do that. And although the world we are going to disembark on is going to be different, I don't think it's going to be as radically different as the world that Noah re-entered after the ark landed. But there certainly are some parallels here, right? We are going to be heading into a different world. Right now, we are limited in our capacities and the things that we can do. But we have the gift of the Holy Spirit so that we may have patience. And during these days, we do have things we can be doing. Some of us still have jobs to go to. We all have chores we can maintain. Some of us may have animals to care for, or perhaps little children to care for. We all have an opportunity to have a family altar. We all have an opportunity to stay close to God, to be talking to Him, to be reminding ourselves and reminding one another what His promises are and the future that He has in store for us. One day we'll be able to come off the ark. I don't know if it'll be 371 days from now. We can't predict when. One day we will disembark. And when we do, let us be equipped based upon the time we have now. Let us be in the Word. Let us be in prayer. Let us be strengthened in every way by a God who makes His strength perfect in weakness. And while we're waiting, let's not be afraid to play Noah's Ark and play with some stuffed animals. God bless you this week.